Okay, welcome to my channel, Everything Thailand. Swadee Kap. First verbal video, and I think that most important video I could first off give you is about money and how Thai currency relates and exchanges to US money, so you know all about that when you come here to visit. First off, the coin, which admittedly I don't use very often, comes in denominations of 1, 5, 10, and 20 baht. Can't honestly remember the last time I used coin. I do have coin, but the paper is always what I use anyway, so we'll go into that. So the going rate now, currently, today, and I just checked it on an app called XE. So you'll want to download that app also when you do decide to come here. And the current rate is 32.73, and that was 10 minutes ago. So let's just get right into it then. So 20 baht, right here, let's see, yeah, 20 baht. That is the equivalent of 61 cents. And we got 50 baht, which is the equivalent of $1.53. We got 100 baht, which is the equivalent of $3.05. 500 baht, woohoo, $15.27. Now we're getting into the big bucks here now. 1,000 baht, that is the equivalent of $30.55. So, all right, so you've landed it at Suvarnabhumi. By the way, it is pronounced Suvarnabhumi. It's spelled Suvarnabhumi, so don't make that mistake when pronouncing the airport. It is Suvarnabhumi. You're waiting for your luggage. There's exchange boxes all over baggage claim. They're not good rates. You're not going to get good rates at the airport. Super Rich is downstairs, and it's the best. It's the best rate. They have the best rate, but you're going to be exchanging. Just exchange about $30 at the most, because you just want enough money to get out of the airport. And when you do exchange, make sure that you break that money up into denominations of 20s, 100 baht, etc., because these taxi drivers don't always have change. So, and by the way, it shouldn't cost more than about 400 baht to get out of the airport into the city of Bangkok. So how I added up real fast in relation to what something cost is I multiply by 3. With the exchange rate being 32.73, you're multiplying by 3. So 300 baht times 3 is $9. $9. So 32.75, it's 32.73. Basically saying something is almost about $10. Let's see. So yeah, as I went over the rates with you, just multiply by 3. I figured out real quick doing that. So you've got your cab, you're in Bangkok, You might want to go to Super Rich now. They have the best rates, especially when you're going to be exchanging a lot of money for your trip. So after you've checked in at the hotel, I would suggest doing that. And don't forget your passport. You're not going to exchange 1 cent without that passport. My other definite suggestion is you'll need to, before you leave the US, go to your bank, get all new bills. Because some of these places, they will not exchange your money if it's wrinkled, if there's ink marks on it, etc., if it's in poor condition. I've had that experience. I was over at an establishment and I didn't have any baht on me. It was before I had moved here, so I didn't have a banking account. And the owner of the establishment, she went for me and exchanged my money to the place where she knew they would exchange it. Even though I had ink marks on the money, she got it exchanged for me. So that was very helpful. But yeah, make sure that your US currency is in crisp condition, or else you're gonna have a problem. You can also use your credit card. If you have Capital One like I do, they do not charge foreign fees for any transactions. So it's always helpful for those transactions. Let's see what else. I think that about covers it. I did not want this to be a real long video. I want to try to keep your attention and draw your interest. You could leave me suggestions on what you'd like to see, questions on what you'd like to know about Thailand. I, for one, am going to try and do some things like, what do I spend in a day, transportation I use, what things cost here, things like that. Something that will have people have some knowledge about Thailand before they get here and their expectations. So I think that about does it. Thank you. Please subscribe and follow. Smash that like button. And you could also hit the option of receiving notifications when I drop a video. All right. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video.